Good evening, everyone. I'm Commission Chair Gould, and I would like to officially call to order the regular meeting of the Community Service Commission of November 6, 2024. Commissioner Bruton, will you now lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance to the flag of our country? Please rise.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. This is the time for public comments to address the Commission on matters not on the agenda and within the authority of the Community Service Commission. If you would like to make a comment, please fill out a yellow speaker card available on the agenda review table by the entrance and provide it to the Commission Secretary. Comments are limited to 3 minutes per speaker, and your name will be called when it is your turn to speak. Madam Commission Secretary, have we received any requests to speak?
Yes, Chair Gould, I have one request to speak from Sean Fletcher.
Good day. I'm here to talk about, I'm a 22-year resident, here to talk about the state of adult softball. The last 2 weeks of the season, I spoke to a variety of teams on both fields to get their feeling on the current state of the softball leagues. I did not get very good positive feedback. First, not one player had anything good to say about our current start times. All of the players work, and its start times for a 4-night game can be brutal. The big problem is the 6 p.m. and the 9:15 p.m. games. As I mentioned, we all work, and even though a good number of us live in Lake Forest, many of us work out of town. And the 6 p.m. start time can be difficult to make. For the same reason, because many of us work out of town, the 9:15 game is equally challenging, mainly due to the fact that it's the last game of the night, and if any of the prior 3 games run late, we start really late, to the point we may not get done until 10:30 p.m. or later. It seems the reason for 4-game nights is that rather than having we have 2 combined teams when we used to have 3 leagues. So now we have teams and leagues of 8 and 9 teams using only 2 of the fields. Now, while this does open up the city to rent the extra field to travel programs, it does impact the parity of the leagues, which is the second problem teams consistently bring up. For example, I play on the Thursday night lower D league, and there's established teams brought down to the lower D season that have no business being there. Again, so the city can collapse what has been 3 different leagues into 2. Lower D is really a rec league defined by the ASA as a beginner-level slow-pitch softball, and there were teams that were playing that play regular tournaments that were playing in our league. A third thing that was brought up was field maintenance. We have no idea why someone thought it was a good idea to aerate the field while the season was going on. It left divots all throughout the field, resulting in players losing their footing and balls taking a dangerous turn and hops. A final thing that was brought up was a wide number of teams is that we do not think the league has been run well since Bill Berry left. Now, I understand it is what it is. Bill moved up to bigger and better things, but we would like better communication between the league manager and the teams, specifically meeting with team managers at the end of each season for a praise and polish session, discussing what is working well and what needs to change. A final 2 things I like to bring up personally with me is I really like to see the city as well as the field marshals do a better job patrolling the dugouts. Every week, there's people smoking, vaping, smoking THC pipes in the spectator as well as the dugout, and by the time the 9:15 game is done, the trash can's full of beer cans. And again, your field marshal basically spends most of his time in his little cubby all throughout the night. The last thing I'd really like to think about is we would really like to see a senior league, a 50-plus league. The only place that they have 50-plus league in Orange County right now is in Fountain Valley. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Mr. McGovern, is that something obviously falls under our purview that we look into? Does it have to go on an agenda?
We can look at So we can look into that internally as staff. If this gentleman filled out a comment card, we should have his contact info. Field reservations are pretty packed in Lake Forest. It's not uncommon for us to, so we try to accommodate as many sports and as much play as possible. I wish we had more fields, but we will look into the issue and we'll respond with the resident. Thank you for bringing up those concerns to us.
Okay, thank you. Just was curious. Thank you. Thank you, Madam Chair.
And kind of to add on, just a quick question, if there's like part of the internal discussion, I'd love to know like the numbers year over year in each league. So if we've had like attrition in the number of teams as whole, maybe it makes sense, you know, the two leagues, but I'd love to know numbers. I don't know if it'd be year over year or season over season, might be a good data point to look at too. Okay. Thank you.
Consent calendar?
Okay. Now it's time for the commission to consider matters listed under the consent calendar. Do any commissioners wish to discuss these items, or is there a motion to consider these items?
I move to approve the consent calendar.
Is there a second for the motion?
I'll second.
Okay, please vote.
And that motion passes unanimously.
Okay, moving on to discussion items. Deputy City Manager McGovern, will you please introduce item number 3?
Yes, going to have our recreation manager, Vicki Blethen, give an update on the program participation report, and then also talk a little bit about revenue and expenses and kind of how that works, which is the second to last page on the report that's before you. I think a commissioner or two asked about that at a previous meeting, kind of how things are going revenue-wise. I know just off the top of my head that we had it was either I think it was a 30% revenue target or a 30% cost recovery rate, or was it 27%?
27% cost recovery last fiscal year, and we were at 31%.
Exactly, got it. Yeah, so
So,
things are going well.
yes.
And I'll hand it over to Recreation Manager Blethen.
Thank you, Chair Golden, Commissioner. So I'm going to give you some highlights for the month of October. Very busy month. I would love to say we don't have any busy months, but we have all busy months, which is great. So the first event I wanted to bring to your attention is the Spooktacular and the 10-year anniversary of the sports park. I know I saw some of you there that night. I was there for a short period of time, so I'm sure the rest of you came at some point in time as well. The event was held from 3 to 7, and obviously it was at the sports park because that's where we were celebrating, and the Spooktacular is always a super popular event. This year we had about 2,500 park visitors and lots of little ones this year, more little ones than I've seen in the past. I'd say the majority of the kids were under the age of 10 that came by. Highlights included special visitors from OC Fire. We had a fire truck there. We had creepy crafts, ghoulie games, face painting, a great DJ, lots of games for the kids. And the first 100 park visitors got a commemorative bag that evening. So that was a great event. Always fun to be out there and see all the people and the great costumes that we had. Some of them, just whole families dressed as like from Little Mermaid, like Dad. Everybody that was great. So let's move over to some activities at the clubhouse. The one I wanted to highlight for you was our sweater weather social at the clubhouse. That was on October 8th, the first time we've got to use our outside patio area that is now doubling as a classroom. Very popular event. We had about 40 seniors in attendance. We had an artist who came to perform from that day with great variety of music from all eras, and he had a wonderful voice. It was really nice to be outside, enjoy the patio area that is now used as a classroom as well, and just sit down and listen to some great music. The seniors that were out there had a great time as well. Other highlights for the clubhouse, for the Senior Resource Fair, always a very popular event. This year was on October 14th. We had about 200 patrons and 30 vendors that attended the event. I know a couple of you came by and got some information from the vendors. We partnered with Ralph's Pharmacy to provide flu shots for the patrons, and the first 100 registered patrons received a duffel bag. I put one on each of your chairs so you could have a commemorative bag as well. That event is always very popular. Each year, we seem to get new and different vendors, and we have a lot of patrons that come just specifically for that event, and then realize, oh my gosh, this is a great place, and then come back. And then the last one on this page or this area is the clubhouse now has 300 Instagram followers. I know that doesn't sound like very much, but for a 50 and better population to have social media followers is actually pretty cool. So the staff at the clubhouse does a great job of posting what we're doing now, posting when the dances are coming up, highlighting a lot of the patrons that come to the facility. So very proud of our 300 Instagram followers. We're moving over now to the skate park. Portola Hills Fall Festival, which was great community outreach for the skate park on October 11th. They were part of the Portola Hills Elementary's Fall Festival. They had their own booth there and got a lot of people coming over to the booth asking about not just the skate park programs, but all the great programs that we offer through the city. It's always nice when they get to venture out and do other activities and have people realize that they are really an outdoor community center. They're not just a skate park. So there's lots of other things that go on at the park other than just skating itself. And then, of course, the infamous Night of the Living Shred at the skate park, always one of my favorites to go to. They had about 200 participants for the night, and they're so creative. They come up with some great ideas for names, including the much-loved Death Race, which is actually a very fast race, racing against each other, a team-based skateboarding scavenger hunt. They had a dance zone, a serial killer, as in cereal, not cereal, the other type of cereal, eating contest, and interactive skateboard slasher games. We do a great job of partnering with Soul Technology, or the parent company of Etnies, the Focus Board Shop, and Welcome Skateboards always donate to that event. So super fun. If you've not gone before, you just need to go by the park to see how creative the staff is and what they build and what they put together. It's pretty amazing. So those are the main, actually one last one. Monster Mash Special Needs, another all-time great. So if you haven't come to any of our special needs programs, in particular the dances, I highly recommend you go by. Very, very popular. This year we had about 200 people from all over Orange County that showed up for that particular dance. They had, we always do arts and crafts. This year they had a 360-degree photo booth, which is super fun. The kids love that. They also brought in a reptile zoo, so they had lizards, alligators, going along with that spooky theme, and a 12-foot-long albino python. Very cool. If you've ever seen that, that's the yellow and white one. Super fun. And we always have a quiet room for that event as well. And then one last thing in that area is October is Emergency Preparedness Month. So staff worked along with the State Council on Developmental Disabilities and partnered up to give out free emergency go kits to our special people in the special needs population. Using the roundabout at the skate park, they gave out 80 backpacks. They had to sign up to come ahead of time and to be able to come get a backpack, but they gave a lot of cool stuff in those backpacks, so great participation by the skate park, by the special needs staff, and also we always like to thank our State Council on Developmental Disabilities. There were some backpacks that were not given out. They had some extras that will be used to give out as part of our gifts we'll be giving at the events at the clubhouse coming up. So they won't go to waste. And then on page 14 is, we brought back, I know that at least one or two of you had asked about our revenue, our chart that we used to use. So this is that chart, bringing that back. At this point in time, we're at 19.09% of our revenue, projected revenue for this fiscal year, which is about where we would normally be at the very beginning. So this is, it's not through right now, obviously not through November 1st, it's collected into, this is probably through about October 1st. And as Sean mentioned, last year our target was 27% cost recovery, which is cost recovery is your expenditures and your revenues, and we were at 31%. So we're hoping to get at that same point again this year. We continue to see increased revenue in our rentals, as well as many of our programs at the sports park. And that's my report. I'm very, very happy to answer questions for you. And if you look on the back page, I have added a whole calendar up through February for you. So you have all the times and everything that you will need for that. Okay? Oh, good. Okay, right.
I do have a question.
Yes.
So for your special needs, you guys have like a big youth participation? Because I'm
It's
thinking
all age groups.
all age groups. So I'm thinking for Little League, we have a challenger program for special needs.
Yes.
That's ages 6 and up.
Yes.
And we've had kind of dwindling participation the last few years. I'm wondering if we could somehow get the message out to your community to see if anybody is interested in
Yeah.
that.
Oh, definitely. You can, we do publicize that Challenger program in the leaflet.
Okay.
Every single time it goes out. It
Okay.
is in that. But if you had some flyers that you wanted to bring, we can definitely pass those out at that program.
We can get some
Yeah.
made. It would be
Yeah.
nice to get
Yeah.
some more participation in that group.
Yeah.
Okay, great, thank you.
I have one comment or a question. When I went to the Spooktacular, very well attended, I made a note of the huge, large number of families and whatnot. It was really good. First time I've ever been. My kids are obviously grown, but I noticed, not to compete, but the city council had a trunk or treat going on, and well, there were 20 trunk or treats
Yes,
in the loop, and I thought, well, maybe the commissions could do that. And I don't want to obligate anybody, but because is it a 3 hour from 3 to 6, the Spooktacular?
Yes.
Yeah. Or
3 to 7.
3 to 7, 4 hours.
Yeah.
So if we got all the commissions together and broke it up and everybody volunteered for a slot or something, that we could have participation in that. I don't know if it came to my mind when I was walking around and saw.
Yeah, no, that's actually a great, the more help we have in that particular area, the better. So we can definitely put that as a go forward comment to let Laura know and the staff over at the sports park know that for next year.
And then if people are available, they could sign up.
Yeah.
We could all do an hour or
Yeah,
something, because there's
yeah,
so many.
definitely.
There's 15 commissioners. so
Yeah,
we should be
yeah,
able
that's a
to
great idea.
cover 4 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a great idea.
good.
Thank you.
Okay, just thought I'd throw that out. Thanks.
Great report. Thank you, Ms. Blethyn.
Uh-huh.
North Pole Calling, is that what used to be Santa Calls? Is that different?
Yeah.
But it's just city staff doing that now?
We will try and have volunteers as well. So I know that this, we've moved some of the items that were at the sports park with the sports park staff over to this facility. So Courtney is organizing that this year. So we will have her reach out. All right?
Thank you.
Uh-huh.
All right. We will now receive comments from our Deputy City Manager, Mr. McGovern. Do you have any comments to share?
Not too much for the group. At the next meeting, we'll have an update on the Veterans Park Brick Program and also an update on 3 of the park outreach projects that we did. That was the outreach for Lake Forest Park, the Lake Forest Nature Park, and Peachwood Park. So those surveys have since closed, and we're working on compiling those results and putting them into a nice report, and we'll be ready to share that report with the group at the next meeting. And that's all I have for the group. Thanks.
Thank you. Moving on to commission member comments. Commissioner Bruton?
All right, thank you. Like I mentioned, I went to the Spooktacular event, very well attended by young families and supported by local businesses and city contractors and everyone else. It was a great event. Also, on the list, I went to the senior, or the resource group event, and that was very helpful. It answered to several of the questions that we had talked about before, and I have some follow-up on that. I attended the Law and Order Orange County, very thought-provoking and relevant programs, and to see the do it pre-election and then see what happened post-election. I think we have a very positive picture going forward regarding crime and safety in the community. So I think the emphasis on that was due, and the propositions that passed will support that. That was with, there were the Congresswoman Dixon and Kim and Spitzer and Barnes. I mean, it was a great crowd, and they were very knowledgeable, and they just talked amongst themselves and answered questions, so that was great. I was able to attend some grand openings and reopenings. Evan had the honor of presenting the certificate on behalf of the city of Lake Forest at Discount Mattresses. So, yeah, there's a Discount Mattress Lady, the grand opening. They're in, I'll plug them right now. They're over at next to Stater Brothers on Trabuco and El Toro. Yeah, very nice group there. I also went to the Boys and Girls Club ribbon cutting that took place. It was really neat. They're over the affordable housing across from the post office. And it's a nice connection with the affordable housing, and then having the Boys and Girls Club right downstairs in the annex. So that was very positive. Good location. Attended the ARTEAM, ARETEEM Institute 20th anniversary celebration. Hadn't heard about it, but pretty much all the city councilmen were there, and 50 other supporters. It was educational. It's kind of a STEM type thing with a math emphasis, and they're very effective. A lot of their students they're trying to get them into their school of choice, which are the MITs, Harvards, and all those. So, and they're very effective in doing that. So that was an eye-opening. I didn't know they were there, and they've been there for 20 years, so it was awesome. Yeah, so so a senior resource seminar. I think that'll cover it for me. Visiting parks, and things are getting fixed, so the parks are all looking great. Thank you for the staff doing such a wonderful job, and all of the events that have been happening, and it's been great. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Commissioner Herron?
Okay, so I did attend the special needs Monster Mash Dash dance, and it was really great. Always loved doing that. I was able to go to, I guess, the grand opening of the clubhouse patio expansion, and that the performer was really good.
really
I
good,
really
right?
enjoyed that. Went to the mayor's leadership luncheon. At the clubhouse, they had I'm going to say Medicare seminar, and I was talking to the gentleman that booked it, and he was like, man, that was going through a lot of hoops just for a little 2-hour seminar in regards to, I guess, the insurance and da-da-da-da-da. I mean, he did it, and he's glad he did it, and of course, I was like, oh, my God, we're so glad to have you here. I was kind of like pumping, I was, trying to make him feel good that he did it, and he got through all that stuff. But I was just kind of like, oh, I didn't know it's so hard to do that. But anyway, went to our little bunko. And anyway, great time for everybody. Staff does such a great job. I, too, went to Spooktacular and talked to everybody. Everybody loved that spook bus. They were just like, ooh, that was really good. And, of course, staff just does a great job everywhere. And I also talked to, in the little roundabout thing, Aliso Viejo, I'm going to call it the ice skating rink, whatever that was called. They were very complimentary in regards to, they said they arrived an hour early and everything was set up and staff was fantastic. They were so impressed how everything was so well run.
That's nice. Well,
So I wanted
pass
to pass
along
that on
yeah.
to everybody. I got my free compost the other day when they had it at the, at the sports park, so that was exciting. I did go to the skate park, Night of the Living Shred. And I met a lovely family from Tustin, and the daughter was interested in skateboarding, so they found that class with encouraging girls to skateboard. And so she loved it. And then her dad's like, well, yeah, I used to skateboard. I could probably get back into it. And then the mom's like, well, I may as well do it too. And so now we have a whole family that comes in from Tustin to come to our skate park. And I thought that was such a good, thing to hear. And I hope we continue to have more classes to encourage girls to skate. All right, so I did that. Oh, and I was very impressed. I went to the estate planning clinic put on by Elder Law at the clubhouse. And man, they're like, hey, you want advance directive? Here's the paperwork. We'll help you fill it out. And here's a notary. Boop, 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 boop. That was really good. I mean, I walked out of there. I had that stuff done. So that was pretty good. I got it done right then and there. And, and then the chamber had an event in regards to going over all of the voting propositions, I guess. That was phenomenal. I hope that they continue to do that because, they had anyway, they reviewed it all and it was like, oh, that's what that means? So, anyway, I hope they continue to do that. Anyway, so that's it. So thank you all. Thank you to staff. You always do a great job. Please pass that on to everybody. And that's it. Thank you.
Thank you. Commissioner Lancaster?
Thank you, Madam Chair. Okay, a couple of things. Yes, congratulations to the Boys and Girls Club of Laguna Beach sponsoring the one in Lake Forest. I know personally Dave Carter and Terry Anderson have worked for years to find a location. I mean, so just congratulations to them, really, really hard. I was involved in that when I was part of the Kiwanis Club, so just congratulations to them. I did attend the Mayor's Volunteer Luncheon, Mr. Tedimer. Also, I wanted a couple of reminders of things going on. Elf Yourself, which is Saturday, November 23rd. Mary Visconti, the CEO of the Chamber, said the spots were closed, but I think they're opening some more. It's a really good event. It really, the money they collect gets split up between all the nonprofits in Lake Forest. I'm not going to mention all of them, but it's a really good event. You don't have to jog this year. I'm going to be walking because, I can't be jogging yet. My ankle's not ready for that. But it's a really good thing. It's fun. There's booth, there's food. There's a lot of fun things to do. And then, of course, there's a contest. You can dress up your dogs and cats. Let's not leave the cats out. So if you haven't been, you should just come. It's just a fun morning, and Mary does a great job with her team. Also want to talk about the El Toro High School. Every week at the city council meeting, as you know, there's a student liaison, Maya Lowry, this year. She's fantastic, great young lady with great personality. Reminder that the El Toro High School food drive starts, I believe, this Saturday, and I think ends right before Thanksgiving. I don't know. I don't remember the exact dates from the government, but they'll be outside Ralph's, not just on weekends, but every night, sometimes in the rain and the cold. Over the years, correct me if I got that number wrong, Mr. McGovern, I think they've collected 20,000, maybe 30,000 pounds of food. I think she mentioned that. It's really great. So, even if you just get a bunch of cans, usually Ralph's does a great job of putting the soup on sale during the food drives to help them out. Just a box of mac and cheese. So help them out. It all goes to South County Outreach, which is, I know personally, a great organization. Kiwanis, we used to do food drives for them. Also, let's see what else. Volunteer luncheon. I think that's it for me. I think that's all my stuff. So food drive and Elf Yourself, just things coming up. And Mr. McGovern, I just had a question for you. The Pledge of Allegiance last night was done by, let me see, it was called Scout. It was called Scout Troop number 4321. And I saw the kids coming down. I noticed some long hair, and I think, it's probably a kid, but then I saw long hair with skirts. So is there no longer Boy Scouts, Girl Scouts? They're now all just scouts? Is that, I didn't understand that last night.
Boy Scouts have let they now allow women or girls in their troops.
Oh, but they're just calling it, they're not, they didn't recognize them as scouts, so it's just Boy Scouts, so now it's just scouts, male and female, is that right? Okay,
Yeah, I think it's just called Scouts of America now.
Scouts of America, okay. I was just curious, and that's really great, and there was, den mothers, den fathers, so anyway. So I think that's it, so I want to wish everybody a blessed and happy Thanksgiving, which is coming up, and thank you for all you do, and thank you.
Thank you. Vice Chair Scher?
Yes, good evening. As a reminder, every year, November 11th is Veterans Day. And I am very pleased that the city is looking at putting together veterans programs in the future. And I'll be most interested to hear an update on that for next fiscal year from a budgeting perspective. But on November 11th at the El Toro Memorial Park, which is off Trabuco, El Toro, highly suggest if you have the time to visit there on November 11th. They're going to have quite a bit of ceremonial activities, of which a number of organizations will be participating. Veterans of Foreign Wars, VFW, which I'm a member of, as Commissioner Bruton, will be there in the color guard. So if you would like to attend, show your participation, please consider that as an excellent activity for Veterans Day there.
It's coming up Monday, right?
Veterans Day is on Monday, the 11th of November, starting at 11 a.m.
Okay, thank
there.
you.
I also attended the mayor's lunch, which I always look forward to. It's a very nicely done event. I think most of us were there, scattered around the room. And it was a very nice event. Also, I'm very pleased to see the city working on the citizens dropping off pharmaceutical or medicines, various pills that I've accumulated over a period of time. And that was occurring on October 26th, I think a Saturday morning, which I dropped off a number of items. And keep your ear peeled to the next events, because they also have places to drop off various things like electronics or other kinds of various things you have around the house that you want to have a place that you can deposit. El Toro High School, I believe, in the parking lot, has had events in the past as well. So kudos to the city for supporting those type of events there. Other than that, the holidays are around us. I can't believe it's here. And I know everyone's going to be busy with holiday-related activities for the most part. And I believe we do have a scheduled meeting in December. I wanted to reconfirm that is correct, the first
December.
Wednesday in December.
4th, I believe it is. Is it December 4th? That's
Okay.
Rick's birthday.
Just want to
Ooh, Rick's
confirm that.
birthday. Ooh, that's gonna be tough.
That's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And for me, like always, thank you, City, for all the hard work you guys put in and all these wonderful events. I don't have anything else to share. Otherwise, this meeting is now adjourned. The Community Service Commission will reconvene for its next regularly scheduled meeting on Wednesday, December 4th, 2024.
All right.